Okay, so you want to manifest. You want to make some magic. You want to change your life? Hell yes, you do. Go off. But how do you do that? Where do you start? And what if, sorry to say, you've been disappointed in the past? What if your manifestations haven't worked out? What if they haven't produced the kind of fruit, le change that you were hoping for? Well, honey, it's time to try again. Start over, literally. This week, if you are not planting seeds, if you are not working with this new moon in Taurus, you are really missing out. So don't do that. Let's get into it right now. Hello, and welcome to Astrology with Aliza Kelly. I'm your host and spiritual friend, Aliza Kelly, and I'm so happy that you're here. This is your weekly brew served hot and fresh every single Monday. The theme of the week is room to bloom. And the top 3 things to know are, number 1, we have a stunning, and I mean stunning, new moon in Taurus this week. And the theme of this lunation is treating yourself like the goddess, king, royal being you know you are. Number 2, we have a Mercury Cazimi, which is when the sun and Mercury smooch at the same point in the sky. And for you, this supports a gorgeous alignment between your identity and your words, especially when it comes to asking for what you want. And number 3, right before Mercury shuffles into Gemini and links up with Uranus, it forms a sexy little exchange with Venus, the planet of love and values. And this is a very flirty energy called a mutual reception. The whole week is giving abundance, baby, room to bloom, and we are here for it. Okay, before we dive in, I just want to say thank you. Thank you, you beautiful community, for being here. Thank you for supporting this new podcast. You know that we say it takes a community, and your love, especially in these early days, is so critical, so important. So give me that 5-star rating, please. Write a beautiful review. I read everything. And be sure to follow or subscribe to Astrology wherever you get your podcast so that I can serve you. I want to serve you. Okay? Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. And speaking of serving you, I'm right here, ready to give you the sip of a lifetime. So stay tuned. We will be right back. Hello, my beautiful, gorgeous, stunning community. This is Astrology, and this is your Monday Weekly Brew. It's me, Aliza Kelly, your host and your spiritual friend. Let's talk about the magic and the stunning possibilities for you, yes, you, in the week ahead, because the astrology is giving abundance, it's giving prosperity, it's giving manifestation, baby. This is nice. Hello, we can have this. We can have nice things. We can have a nice week. So let's talk about what it means for you and how you can work with it. First thing is first, I want to tell you about the new moon, because even though it happens at the end of the week, we are going to be building up to it the entire week. We have this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous arriving on Saturday afternoon. And this lunation is really about celebrating all that you are, all that you have, and all that you desire. Taurus is a fixed earth sign, and we are still very much at the beginning of the zodiac journey, not very long after spring equinox here, which means that Taurus is the first earth sign, which means it is the first time we become aware of the physical world. It is the first time we become aware of our body, of our environment, of our favorite flavors, our favorite aromas, our favorite sensations. Taurus is fundamentally rooted in presence. So for any new members of our community who are still just beginning their astrology journey, I want to tell you that a new moon is a beautiful thing that happens once a month, every 29-ish days. They take place when the sun and moon meet at the same point in the sky. The sun and the moon, the luminaries, smooch at the same place for a moment. And the new moon marks the beginning of a new lunar cycle. It's a reset point. The sky is dark, the moon is invisible, and symbolically, this is about starting over. It's beginning again. It's starting fresh. The moon is also connected to our emotional inner world, so this is a new emotional beginning for us. I like to imagine how our ancient ancestors, pre-electricity, navigated during this time. It would have been totally pitch black during this phase. So there were no night markets. There was no late night travel. This was a time to stay put, to post up in your cabin, in your yurt, in your cave, whatever, wherever. The architecture is gorgeous always. You would be cozying up with your ancient community. Maybe you'd be lighting a fire, you'd tell some stories, and then, of course, you would stargaze. Because during a new moon, without the light of the moon, you have the best view of the stars and the amazing expanse of the unknown. And I believe that it is intrinsically human to stargaze, to mythologize, to tell stories, to create narratives. Humans express selfhood through storytelling and imagination. And during a new moon, we are really invited to tap into this, to tap into the limitless potential of what ifs. And for us modern cutie patooties, this means it is the optimal time for us to plant seeds, set intentions, tell stories about what we want our life to look like, and then manifest them, baby. Okay, so that is what a new moon is. That is what a new moon does. That is how we can work with a new moon. And because this new moon is in Taurus, this is a gorgeous time to set intentions around Taurus things in our life. Security, stability, yes, but let's go further, honey. Money, prosperity, abundance, respect. Taurus governs your relationship to value, both material value and emotional value. This is about creating a life that you believe in, that you want to revere, that you want to put on a pedestal, a life that feels good to live in. So the theme of the week is room to bloom, and it's all about treating yourself like the goddess, the royal being, the king, the queen that you know you are, and knowing that you deserve to live a good life. That's not selfish. It's actually deeply spiritual and deeply devotional, because how you care for yourself becomes the foundation for everything else. And of course, we all know that you cannot pour from an empty tea kettle. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot produce ripe, juicy, delicious fruit from nasty, dusty dirt, right? Pooh. The way that you eat, the way that you rest, the way that you speak to yourself, the way that you spend your time, the way that you direct your energy, all of this is part of the ritual of this lunation. All of this has to do with the way that we take care of ourselves and then take care of the world, take care of others, take care of the things that we value and love and respect. I also want to mention that we can't ignore that during this new moon, in the chart for this new moon, Mars, the planet of action, is meeting up with Chiron, the wounded healer, in the sign of Aries. This obviously adds an important layer and dimension to this new moon. Yes, there will be old wounds surfacing around independence, survival, the feeling like you have to fight to get your needs met. You may notice that part of you is still operating from that place of scarcity or defensiveness, but that's okay. That aspect isn't trying to destabilize you or take away from the bigger picture room to bloom plot here. This is part of the magic and the bounty of this lunation. That aspect, Mars conjunct Chiron, wants you to see how you are healing yourself by building from a different place. And in your horoscope, your poroscope, I'm going to offer every sign some suggestions for how to manifest and how to integrate it this week, so you know exactly how to make magic for this lunation. But just the TLDR is that it's beautiful, it's healing, it's active, and it's powerful. We also have a Mercury Cazimi this week, and this is also another very important thing to tune into because this amplifies that room to bloom theme. A cazimi occurs when a planet is exactly conjunct the sun within minutes of its arc, and it is said to be within the heart of the sun. It's an Arabic transliteration for in the heart of. Fun fact, when I started the Constellation Club in 2019, the Constellation Club is my virtual community, the original name for it was going to be the Cazimi Club, but I thought it was too niche. Joke is on me because in the year of our Lord 2026, we're all casually talking about Kazimis left and right because the astrology freaks have truly taken over the world. Tank, there are no coincidences. We love to see it. Right now is our Kazimi Club. This is our Kazimi Club because this week, Mercury, you know Mercury, it's the planet of communication, thinking, perception, language, is going to be forming that beautiful conjunction to the sun, which represents your identity, your vitality, your ego, your aura, your essence. So during a Mercury Kazimi, we have a beautiful opportunity to fuse self and words. Your thoughts, your voice, your expression, they're all going to be coming from the same place. And you know that I say that words are wands, and this is especially true during a Mercury Kazimi. You create your reality through your thoughts and through your statements on both an external and an internal level. And with this Kazimi happening in Taurus, the energy is going to be practical. It's going to be about your values. It's going to be about your needs and your resources. So honey, name your price, set some standards, speak on your values and your desires, and don't apologize for having them. That's the tea. Okay, and the last thing I want to tell you about the week ahead is that we have a truly delightful little kiki taking place between Mercury and Venus. So right before Mercury moves into Gemini, it forms a lovely connection to Venus. And because Mercury is in Taurus, and Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is in Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury, these two baddies are coming together in a really cool connection known as a mutual reception. In other words, Venus is in a sign that is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is in a sign that is ruled by Venus. So during a mutual reception, these planets help each other out. They share intel. They pass each other the fucking tool that the other one was looking for. You feel me? Venus is like, honey, I need a hammer. And Mercury is like, oh, I have a hammer. Venus, do you have nails? And Venus is like, yeah, I have nails. And there we go. Hammer and nails coming together, making it happen. So for you, this is going to add to the bounty of the week, room to bloom. This is going to amplify those manifestations around love and money and values and connection and new ideas because conversations are going to get a little easier. Opportunities are going to get a little more accessible. There is going to be a sense of true exchange and reciprocity, whether that is literal in terms of something financial or contractual, or something energetic in terms of something romantic or even intellectual. And then right after that, Mercury does move into Gemini and links up with Uranus. This is the planet of communication linking up with the planet that is believed to be the higher octave of communication. So things are going to get fast and furious yet again. Unexpected news, innovation, breakthroughs, disruption. Hello. This is going to be the first time we are seeing Mercury in its domicile of Gemini, align with the newly positioned Uranus in Gemini. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this manifests. But one thing is for sure, this is definitely giving zone of genius energy, and we love to see that. And as always, I have your journal prompt for the week ahead. What seeds am I planting for this new moon, and what do they reveal about my value system? And now, my friends, let's go over here. Let's see, what do I have on this table? Tarot cards, the other T? T for tarot? Yes. So every week I pull a tarot card to get a different perspective on the energy of the week ahead. And I have to apologize to you, my beautiful friends, because last week we pulled Two of Wands. And, you know, the way that we record these could be a few days apart. It could be a few weeks apart. Well, your girl didn't realize in the moment that, yes, we pulled the Two of Wands last week. We pulled the Ace of Wands the week before. Can you believe it? We literally were building on the energy from the previous week. telling a story through tarot week by fucking week. So are we going to pull 3 of Wands today? I would die. I would pass out. I would pass out right here, right now. We're here for it. We're ready. We're ready to receive. We're ready to know. Wheel of Fortune. To me, like, it might as well be 3 of Wands. It might as well. It might as well because it has that same sort of like wild, unpredictable, like, you know, what can happen? What's going to happen? You could do anything with this card, right? This card could be anything you want it to be. So let's call it 3 of Wands. No, but let's talk about the Wheel of Fortune because this is such an important and such a meaningful card here. So Wheel of Fortune associated with Jupiter, which is the greater benefic, a beautiful, bountiful, big ass planet associated with luck and abundance. Venus is the lesser benefic. And this is a very Venusian week with the new moon in Taurus. So we love to see it, right? All of the energy, room to bloom, is really coming through with the Wheel of Fortune card. Wheel of Fortune is literally about giving it a try, giving it a go, taking the risk. And for us, with all of this bounty and abundance and prosperity that we're talking about with this lunation, like, why not see if you can work with the energy of this new moon in Taurus and take a risk, do something different, plant a seed, get wild. Maybe it will change your life. It's worth spinning the Wheel of Fortune to see, right? The worst that can happen is that you get rerouted and have to come back, right? The best that can happen is you're like, oh shit, that was the thing that I was waiting for. That's it. And now my life is moving in the direction that I wanted to go. I feel grateful. I feel in alignment. I feel ready for anything. I feel active. I feel assertive. I feel prepared. But ultimately, Wheel of Fortune is like a really positive sign for the week ahead, especially with the energy that we're working with. It's all about making it happen. Coming up next, I have your horoscope for the week ahead. Stay tuned. We will be right back after this quick break. Welcome back, community. It is time for your horoscope for the week ahead. Yes, it is. And as always, I want to remind you of 2 things. Number 1, be sure to listen for your sun sign and your rising, because together, these are going to tell a more complete story about where this week's themes are going to show up for you. And number 2, if you don't know, Aries is the first sign, Pisces is the last. So every week, I'm going to go in zodiacal order. I'm going to start with Aries. I'm going to end with Pisces. To find your sign easily, or I should say to find your signs easily, because you want to tune in for both your sun and your rising, just check out the timestamps or the chapters or what have you. It's all here. Let's do it. Hello there, Aries. Okay, so this week, we are not chasing, honey. No, no, no. We are attracting, okay? I know that you are used to moving quickly. You want what you want. You want it now. You want it yesterday. How dare you not have it? But this new moon in Taurus is inviting you to ask yourself a different type of question, which is, why do you want it at all? Because this week isn't just about getting more money, more things, more status, whatever. It is about understanding the meaning behind your desire, Aries. What does that number in a bank account signify to you? Is it security? Is it freedom? Is it validation? Is it power? What does it mean to be treated with respect at work? What does that look like? What does that entail? What does it mean to have someone choose you romantically or sexually? And once you identify that, once you start to figure out what these things look like and what inspires them, where the true motivation comes from, this is where things start to get interesting, because you may realize, Aries, that some of the things that you have been chasing aren't actually what you need. They're not actually what you're craving. So this week, you're going to become more intentional about what you allow into your life, what you spend your money on, what you invest your time in, where you give your energy. And that may mean slowing down before you say yes, pausing before you commit, letting yourself choose rather than feeling like you need to react right away because you don't want this thing to slip between your fingers. You don't want to lose it. But why would you lose it, Aries? If it's meant for you, it's already yours. So this week, your manifestation practice is simple. Every time you catch yourself wanting something, pause and ask yourself, what do I believe this will give me? And let that answer, that awareness, that insight guide your next move. Hello, Taurus honey. This is your new moon, which means yes, it is very, very personal. In fact, this is the only new moon in your sign in the whole year. So you better be working with it, okay? Don't sleep on this one. So what does it mean for you? Well, Taurus, my love, you got to invest in yourself this week, okay? You got to invest in your identity. You got to invest in your body. You got to invest in your style, in your confidence. Invest in the fact that you are never going to be younger than you are in this moment right now. So this is your moment to hustle as hard as you possibly can for all of the things that beautiful little bovine heart of yours desires. You hear me, honey? I know you're tired, but you gotta wake up. Knock, knock, Taurus. Are you there? We got a life to live. But let me roll this back because I don't want to spike your cortisol, baby. So let me put it this way, okay? You don't need to do anything differently. You don't need to have a 90s makeover montage, even though who wouldn't want a 90s makeover montage? All I want you to do, Taurus, is just drop into yourself more. I want you to become more of you. That's the work. That's it. It's about infusing a little intentionality, a little strength, a little courage, a little riz in how you carry yourself and how you present yourself to the world and how you take up space. And this week, you may notice yourself becoming more aware of your physical body, what feels good, what doesn't, what you need more of. Is it water? Is it sunshine? Is it exercise? Is it a milkshake? Go get it, Taurus. But the reason that you need to go get it is because there is something around that bodily awareness of self that speaks to the larger, more spiritual, philosophical undercurrent of this new moon, which is about defining who you are moment by moment and recognizing that your needs are constantly changing and that you have changed dramatically. I mean, you are a completely different person than you were last year at the new moon in Taurus. So how have you changed? How have you grown? And if you're like, Aliza, not as much as I would have wanted, well, honey, that's okay. That's information. Those are the intentions that you want to set. Room to bloom, baby. So for you, honey, the abundance of this week comes from authenticity. And a very low lift manifestation I want to offer you is some mirror work. Lock eyes with yourself in your reflection and look deep into them, okay? Into that beautiful soul that has been with you since birth, and tell yourself how amazing you are and that you, in all dimensions of self, are taking care of yourself. You are with yourself. You are of yourself, and you are going to ensure that you live the life that you deserve to live. And that's a promise. And then see what happens after that. This is powerful and very important work. Hello, Gemini. This new moon in Taurus is about what is going on backstage, baby, in the green room, in the utility closet, in the underground tunnel that goes straight to the underworld. Wait, what are we talking about? Where are we? Gemini, honey, this new moon is activating the area of your chart associated with your inner world. And that means it is all about the stuff that happens in the moment right before everything changes. It is that liminal anticipatory energy, which is exciting, but also you might pee-pee yourself. And then, oh my God, you need to change your pants. And before you're like, ew, Aliza, what are you talking about? What am I supposed to do with this energy? What does that even mean? Okay, allow me to explain. The answer is do less. Do less, Gemini. Gemini, your homework for this week is to focus on how your external reality is a reflection of your emotional landscape and how your emotional landscape is a reflection of your external reality. You see what we're doing here? It's a feedback loop, baby. And it's all about the patterns and the beliefs and the thoughts that have been shaping your existence without you even realizing it. And considering whether or not they are serving you. And if they're not serving you, then how are we supposed to make magic on top of that, Gemini? You see what I mean? We got to figure out what is going on under the hood. Which apps have been running in the background, draining your battery life and stealing your precious storage space. So yeah, you might be a little slower this week, a little off, and that is fine because that's the vibe for you. Your system is asking you to close out some apps, to get some tabs out of your browser, and to really think about intentional integration, especially with Mercury, your planetary ruler, moving into your sign and connecting with Uranus in your sign at the very end of the week, which is major and has not happened yet. And honey, when that happens, you are going to be off to the races, no doubt. But before you get there, take some time to think about what has been clogging you up. So for your manifestation practice, I invite you to consider the exhale rather than the inhale, okay? Journal on whatever it is you feel has been getting in the way of your progress, and then hone in on a single word that really captures that experience. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's doubt, maybe it's denial. And then Gemini, I want you to go to your thesaurus or Google and find the antonym of that word, okay? That means the opposite word. And that word becomes your mantra for the week. So if your word was fear, maybe you choose courage as your antonym. If your word was doubt, maybe you choose trust. If your word was denial, you choose acceptance. This is so Gemini coded. This is a powerful mental shift. So let me know in the comments or in your Apple reviews what your word is and what this process feels like for you. Hello, Cancer. This new moon in Taurus is making you a busy, busy crab, a crustacean on a mission. It's activating your networks, your friendships, your collaboration, your audience, your people, baby. And more importantly, it's planting seeds around your future. Not just what you want next week, not next month, but truly where your life is going, Cancer. Le vision, okay? The long game. It's giving, if everything worked out, this is what your life would look like. You know what I mean? Cancer, can you answer that question? What does your best case scenario entail? And I want you to get a very clear vision for the life that you want to live because Cancer, honey, you are not meant to do this alone. You got to find your people. And if other people aren't part of your vision, then honey, throw some people in that vision because the T is that you are not getting anywhere without having collaborators, supporters, mentors, advocates, angels, fans rooting for you. So you need to let that energy in. You need to embrace it and you need to make sure that you have snacks for everyone. So this week, you might notice a shift in your friendships or even in your bigger picture communities. You are tuning into your ecosystem so that you can ensure that it actually supports the version of you that wants to emerge. And if the whole landscape feels small and stifling, how is that helping you reach those big goals? How can you amplify your impact? And I know, Cancer, sometimes you're hesitant to claim what you want because you don't want to be greedy. You don't want to make it seem like you're asking for too much. To hell with that, okay? This week is a reminder that your dreams don't exist in a vacuum. Other people want to help you because guess what, honey? They have dreams too. And your goals are part of someone else's self-actualization story too. That's the T. We're all connected, okay? I'm going to give you a very gentle, easy peasy manifestation. Send a cold email. Send a cold DM. Shoot your shot, Cancer. The worst case scenario, it goes unanswered. But at least you have a template for how you do your next reach out. And then, of course, the best case, it's giving Wheel of Fortune. Holy shit, this is happening. This is huge. This is life-changing. Listen, I don't know what it's going to yield, but I do know that this new moon is very abundant. So it's worth a little Wheel of Fortune turn, right? It's worth a little spin. Leo, 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 Leo. Good news, honey. This new moon in Taurus puts Leo on the map. It is activating your career, your reputation, your visibility, your legacy. This is big, big, big energy, okay? This is spotlight energy. This is hold my purse energy. This is ready for my close-up energy. But hold on, Leo. Come here. Is that not an option right now? Is that not part of your reality? Are you stuck helping make someone else's dreams come true? Leo, don't scare me. We've got to fix this right away. The thing is, Leo, is that if you have been putting your energy into helping someone else live their dream, find their vision, into someone else's platform, I want to say that first, that's okay. Theoretically, right? We all need people. We all need support. And it's lovely and generous and very high vibe, Leo, of you to put your skills and talents to use in that way, to be someone else's cheerleader. But the question becomes, are you doing this because you want to? Or are you doing this because you feel like you have to? Or even more revealing, are you doing this because you are afraid to be doing this for yourself? Leo, that's the tea, honey. It's really hot too. Leo, I want to remind you that courage doesn't have to look like a dramatic leap on stage. Suddenly, it's a monologue. Spotlight is on you. Leo, it can look like choosing yourself in small, consistent ways, carving out time for your own work, even when it's inconvenient, even when you're busy, even when you don't have the time, even when you're unsure of what the final product is going to be. Or Leo, it could also be saying no to something that drains you because you want to take the time back for yourself. So even if it's easier to say yes, maybe it is the art and the practice of setting some boundaries. Maybe it's letting yourself be seen even when you feel a little embarrassed and a little messy and a little unpolished and a little like, oh, don't look at me. Maybe it's actually just practicing and building that muscle. Because the truth is, your future with a capital F, future, is not built on a single defining viral moment. It's built on small choices, small opportunities, small wins, small decisions that you experience through time. So your manifestation practice needs to match the energy of this moment. So we are not just visualizing, we are doing things. Pick one thing this week that directly supports your capital F future, something visible, something tangible, and put it out into the world. Apply for an opportunity, send a pitch, post a clip. Just take a step that sends a message to the universe that you are ready and willing to move towards that goal. And then see what happens when you do. Wheel of Fortune. Ahoy, Virgo. This new moon in Taurus is all about expansion, baby. Getting bigger and better and badder every damn year. Yes, we are. For you, honey, this looks like expanding into something you don't fully understand yet. And that's exactly where you are right now, on the edge of a precipice, whether that is a new belief system, a new way of seeing the world, a new way of seeing your life, or a new concept that could actually totally change your reality. And maybe that's why you're afraid to commit to it, T. You are feeling pulled towards something unfamiliar. And naturally, you're like, hold on, hold the phone. Am I safe? Is this okay? Can I do this? Yes, you can, Virgo. This is your moment to experiment with the idea of changing your life, switching things up, learning something new, trying something different, experimenting in ways that feel like they're only accessible to you now because you're willing to take the leap, right? Previous iterations of yourself would have been too scared to do it, but you're not scared. You're not. Virgo, you're really brave. Maybe that is knowing that you are allowed to sign up for a class even though you're an adult person. Maybe that is experimenting with, this new thing as a hobby, or maybe it is admitting to yourself that you're not interested in it as a hobby, that you are low-key actually looking for a career change. And that's okay too, Virgo. You don't need your passion to just be a whim for the hell of it. If you are looking to build a new skill set because you are actually looking to change your professional trajectory, that's great. That's fantastic. You still need to start somewhere. And I want to say this very clearly, okay? Virgo, you don't need to have a 5-year plan to actually commit to this right now. That's where your abundance is this week. It's just your willingness to see things differently and therefore begin the process of living differently. So here's your manifestation practice, okay? A little unconventional for you. Do one thing that feels out of character. Sign up for that class. Or maybe buy the equipment that you need to begin doing that thing. Or, I don't know, maybe start to look into relocating to a place where you can find inspiration and new possibilities and a more exciting and expansive future. Meet yourself wherever you are, Virgo. This week, choose to take it one step further than you had before. And that's exactly how you manifest. Hello, Libra, Libra, Libra. This new moon in Taurus is taking you somewhere deep, 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 baby. We are going down, down, down into the space of attachments, entanglements, the past, the pain, the memories, the grief. But if you're like, no, Aliza, I'm not going. I will simply perish. I couldn't. I can't. I won't. Okay, that's fine. What if I told you that this is how you truly tap into your Owens sisters magic? Yes, honey, I am referring to the Owens sisters of practical magic, and make your life a magical, mystical, aesthetically delightful place because you are brave enough to alchemize the past and spin it into gold. Yeah? Okay, here we go. Libra, you don't get abundance by keeping things surface level. You just don't. You get it by being willing to go there. Yes, there, to that scary place. By looking at your relationships, the romantic ones, the financial ones, the emotional ones, and burning the shit down that is not working so you can create this beautiful, fiery, ashy soil that is fertile for new life. We are not trying to just be palatable this week, Libra. We are trying to change our reality. Hello. So this week, you are going to notice the shifts relating to trust. Who you trust, what you trust, and whether you trust yourself enough to handle what it means to let someone closer or to create a boundary so that you're not dealing with that shit anymore. Ultimately, intimacy is not just about proximity, right? It's about honesty, and there is a very honest version of yourself available to you right now that if you tap into, can change everything. But you have to be willing to go there. So the abundance of this new moon is directly tied to your ability to transmute, to release what isn't aligned so that you can make space for something very, very bountiful. Your manifestation practice this week is to have one honest conversation about what you have been avoiding, about money, about feelings, about expectations, whatever it is. And if you fumble through it, fine. If your voice shakes, gorgeous. That has resonance. Speak your truth, Libra, and let the universe show you what you need to see. Hello, Scorpio. This new moon in Taurus, your opposite sign, is putting a mirror directly in front of your face. Like, hi, hello, it's you. What do you have in your teeth? But hold on, it's not just you in the mirror. No. It's you with a +1. It's you standing next to the most important relationships in your life, your partnerships, your dynamics, your boss, your contracts, your patterns when it comes to love and commitment and trust and vulnerability, all of it. It's all in the mirror with you. And what do those closest relationships in the mirror with you say about you? Because if you are not thrilled to be seen in relation to these dynamics, well, honey, we've got work to do. Because here's the tea, baby. You do not get to the next level without leveling up your relationships. Ooh! So ask yourself right now, who are you most closely aligned with? And what do those alignments say about you? That's you. If there is more to be desired, that's okay. Notice it. Take it in. Be thoughtful about your awareness. If you're like, I'm a little embarrassed about who I'm dating. I'm a little embarrassed about what I'm doing for work. I'm a little embarrassed about what I'm building. Why? What's embarrassing? And is that embarrassment coming from ego, or is it coming from knowing that you deserve more? This new moon is asking you to raise the bar on what you accept in your closest relationships, emotionally, energetically, materially. The abundance of this lunation comes from choosing yourself at a higher level, from recognizing that the quality of your life is directly tied to the quality of your partnerships. And if something isn't meeting you where you are or where you're going, you're allowed to outgrow it. You're allowed to want more. You're allowed to expect more. It's not Delulu, Scorpio. It's self-respect. Your manifestation practice should be active this week, okay? Make one upgrade in your relationship standards. That could mean asking for more. That could mean stating a need. That could mean walking away from something that you know is not working. Or it could mean walking towards something or someone who you know shows up consistently for you. Someone who is both safe and also inspiring. Scorpio, you can have it all. Hello, Sagittarius, baby. Let's get organized. Let's get our act together. Oh, you wanted this new moon to yield something abundant and huge and life-altering? Sure. Wheel of Fortune, no problem. But first, you have to respond to some emails, okay? You have to drink more water. You have to put away your laundry. And then you'll be ready to spin the Wheel of Fortune, ready to go. But honestly, Sagittarius, all of that stuff is part of what abundance means for you. This new moon is activating the area of your chart tied to routines and schedules, which means the seeds that are being planted right now are in your daily life, in your habits, in your time management, in your workflow, in your health. Honey, this is where real abundance comes from, okay? Being consistent, organized, and clear about your path forward every single damn day. Sagittarius, especially with all of this energy bursting, you're going to make sure that your ducks are in a row so that you can receive whatever the blessings are, whatever is delivered, whatever is at your door. You may start to notice where things are obnoxiously, rudely inefficient in your life, where things are scattered, where they are unsustainable, where your energy is getting zapped. And Sag, all of that awareness is a good thing, because it just means that you need more structure. You need more boundaries. You need some systems that actually work for you rather than against you. And I want you to hear this, okay? Discipline is not punishment. Structure is not restriction. In this context, this is actually how you are able to create freedom. Because when your daily life runs smoothly, you have more space for creativity, for adventure, for spontaneity, for all the things that you actually care about, okay? So your manifestation this week for the new moon should be to pick one habit that directly supports your future. Just one, Sag, and commit to it every day. Maybe it's a wake-up time, or it's a bedtime. Maybe it's one of those giant water bottles that tell you you're drinking like 90 gallons of water a day. Whatever it is, make it simple, make it doable. Let the consistency be the magic. Capricorn, hello. Let me see your hand. Squeeze my hand. Ow! Too tight. This new moon in Taurus is asking you to loosen your grip just a little bit, okay? Let something feel good again. I know. You're like, Aliza, I have goals. I have responsibilities. I have a firm handshake. And you do. No question. I respect it. But this week, we are not talking about that weight of the world on les shoulders, okay? We are talking about slipping into some dancing shoes. We are talking about your joy, Capricorn. Ever heard of it? We're talking about your creativity. We're talking about your desires. We are talking about the parts of you that exist outside of your obligations. It's time to have fun, Capricorn. And if the concept of fun makes you a little uneasy, well, honey, that's exactly why we're here. That's why we have work to do. Somewhere along the way, you learned that everything has to be productive. Everything that is not productive has no purpose, has no value. If it doesn't lead somewhere, it's a waste of time. And Capricorn, actually, believe it or not, there's more to life than that. This new moon is like, what if the experience itself is the value? What if the point of living is to not just be productive 24/7, but also to appreciate the fact that you're here, alive, right now, So Capricorn, this week, if you feel pulled towards something that doesn't make any logical sense, whatever it is, something creative, something fun and flirty, something that disrupts your day-to-day, you may question it. You may wonder, what's the point? What's the outcome? Where is this going? Is this worth it? Is this my new career path? The answer is, don't answer it. It's worth it because it's intriguing, because it lights you up. It's worth it because it's weird. It's worth it because it's tea. That's really the value of the new moon this week. That's where your room to bloom is. There's also something here about being seen, but not in that hyper-controlled sort of way. It's about being raw, unfiltered. It's about dancing on the table. It's about letting people see what excites you, what inspires you, what makes you laugh, what makes you feel alive. And yeah, Capricorn, it's going to be a little bit like, ha ha ha, who has time for this? But that's the spice of life, honey. That's why it's a practice. The more you let yourself enjoy your life, the more your life starts to reflect that energy back to you. And then you could get back to work, okay? So remember that for you, abundance comes through pleasure, through creativity, through letting yourself want something just because you want it. Make the art, go on a date. I don't know, whatever it is. Your manifestation practice this week is just to do something fun. Whatever that looks like, you tell me. There's no other reason to have fun other than to have fun. Hello, Aquarius. This new moon in Taurus is bringing it all the way home, okay? And I mean your literal home. I mean your literal physical home, your space, your environment, but also your emotional home, your roots, your foundation, your core. And if you're like, okay, but I prefer to live in my head, we know. We know. But this week, it's about coming back to the body, Aquarius, okay? It's about being present, because here's the thing. You can create the biggest and baddest and most innovative and most revolutionarily philosophical world in your head. But if your foundation isn't supporting you, why does it matter? This new moon is about planting seeds around what makes you feel safe and grounded and actually held and supported in your life. And the reason for this is because you want to be anchored in your day-to-day so that you have the space and the calm nervous system to figure out how to create this future that aligns with the visions that you have for self, for the world at large, and where you can take where you are today and you can merge it with that. You're going to feel a pull to change something in your environment. It could be rearranging or redecorating or decluttering, but maybe, Aquarius, it's time to consider a move. A big move, because your external reality should be a reflection of your internal state. So if things feel off around you, that's information, that's tea. You want to exist in a world that feels like yours, the physical space, but also your neighborhood, your community, because that will help you integrate all dimensions of your selfhood. And then it's also worth mentioning this concept of emotional security. What do you need to feel safe, Aquarius? Are you giving that to yourself? Or are you expecting external circumstances to create that feeling for you? Because, honey, if you are, it doesn't matter where you go. That stability has to start from within and then become reflected outward. So your manifestation practice this week is to choose one area of your environment and to give it a little spruce up, to give it a little Kris Jenner facelift, okay? Clean it, organize it, beautify it, make it intentional. Maybe set up a little window altar for yourself, sprinkle some flower petals, some crystals, some pictures of your grandparents. Let your space honor your past and who you were and where you come from, but also give you a dedicated area to make wishes for the future that excites you. Hello there, Pisces. This new moon in Taurus is asking you to get very, very, very intentional about what is going on inside that big, beautiful, mystical, poetic brain of yours. Because yeah, you're intuitive, you're tapped in, you're psychic, you're a mermaid, but you're also a human being. Sorry to say, sorry to bring it up, but that means that your thoughts and your language and your day-to-day mental patterns are shaping your reality in ways that are either helping you or they're hurting you. And this week, we got to pay attention. This new moon is asking you to take a close look at the stories you are telling yourselves, the narratives on repeat, the tone that you use when you talk to yourself in your own head. Because if that internal dialogue is limiting or disassociated or rude, it doesn't matter how magical you are, Pisces. It's going to be hard to do anything other than stay stuck in a lackluster state of mind. Ooh, tea. You may notice that your awareness is going to sharpen this week, especially when it comes to how you show up in conversations, what you say and how people respond. All of that is really important right now. You may notice where you are overcompensating or where you just have not been saying enough. Pisces, you don't need to try to conform to other people's expectations. You don't need to say things that you think people want to hear. Just try to be yourself. I know it sounds kind of corny, but this new moon is about knowing that you deserve a seat at the table just simply by being who you are. The abundance is about confidence. It's about speaking with intention, choosing your words instead of other people choosing them for you. You pick what you want from the restaurant, Pisces. Don't just order something because someone else ordered it. Choose for yourself. Pick what you want. Your manifestation practice has to be active, okay? Tune in to that inner monologue. And every time you catch yourself saying something negative, something limiting, something rude, pause and rephrase it so that it is supportive and true. Train your voice in your head to work for you and see how that impacts those external conversations too. And see what you order at the fucking restaurant. And that is all for this episode. What did you think? What did you love? How did it resonate? Was it a slay? Let me know in the comments and be sure to join me on Wednesday because I'll be back for a tea party, honey. And then Monday, back again with your brew, as always, once again. And make sure you tune in every Monday and every Wednesday for all new episodes of Astrology. And don't forget to rate 5 stars, review, and follow and subscribe so you never, ever, ever miss an episode. Thank you for being here. I love you.